Good morning, I'm Kiki and welcome to my stream. Today I am listening once again to Gamechops. That's the music you're hearing behind me. And I am going to be drawing for today's art live stream 02 from Darling in the Franxx. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't seen this anime just yet. It's actually been highly recommended to me. It does appear to be really like a fun character to draw, so I wanted to give it a try before I started watching this anime, which I am going to be doing soon. And before I get into it, I'm going to be drawing 02 in her pilot outfit, and I'm going to get started here in just a second. So I'm just starting off with a initial sketch of where that is really poorly done. It's fine. Every time I plot out, it always turns out to be quite different. But just to get an idea of where she's going to be. And get an idea where I start drawing. And like I said before, she's going to be in her pilot suit. So I'm doing a little bit more plotting. Usually it's just like some big blocks, but because of the way that she's going to be standing, that doesn't seem right to me here. I'm gonna move. It's funny because none of this is gonna matter for very much longer, because I'm going to end up drawing it vastly different. This is just to help me, to guide me, or to put me in a spot where I need to be. Control D. But it's just, for me, it's just to get a generalized idea of where she's going to be. Not an exact. She has a hood and her head's gonna go here-ish. Alright. Now that I have that, we're gonna drop the opacity of it quite a lot. Zoom in here and get her drawn in. Now I'm not drawing in the style, even though I draw in a very anime style. I'm not going to be drawing her in the exact style that she is in the anime. It will be in my style. So there'll be some noticeable difference, but I try to be as accurate to the character as possible. Pop on a new layer. Let me get a drink of water real quick. All right. So I have, that is not the brush I would like to use. There it is. For me, this brush makes all the difference. I think the line's still too because it's like a 100. Like, the line seems really thick, and it's not usually, and I'm not pressing too hard. let's see if I can get a face going here. Now I'm looking at all these different pictures of her, and she does have a very straightforward, like anime-esque style face. Like not super different from what you'd see in other anime characters. Which it works out for me because that's kind of how I draw anyways. Let's plot an ear down for her. So this being in my style, I don't have to worry about being exact to the way that they have it. I wanted to give her vibes, give her feels to it. But the rest of it is just can be all how I regularly draw. Which always goes into drawing the ear and then eventually erasing it. Usually. You wouldn't see the other ear. She's not an elf. She doesn't have pointed ears. When I was younger, I used to draw a lot of characters with pointed ears. I was really into drawing elves. And like influenced by fantasy quite largely at the time. I was really like things like Lord of the Rings and anything that was fantasy based. I played a lot of Legend of Zelda growing up, and so a lot of the characters that were original characters for me, a lot of them were elven characters. I'm kind of gotten away from it now. Need a little bit more water. Excuse me. So I've gotten a little bit away from drawing elven characters. Most of my characters now, original characters that is, especially ones like Kiki, have typical ears, typical human ears, I should say. So I'm going to try to draw her. Well, let's get her face in there. I'll get the rest a little bit later. I always tend to draw in about the same order as well. I do the head, and then the face, and then the body. I'm gonna see if I could plot out a spot for her eyes here. And get the generalized version of her eyes. The general look of her eyes. I hope that isn't me just coughing and not coming down with a cold. Been coughing a lot lately. Has not been great. It just started getting warmer here, and I am not a fan of the cold. The cold makes me quite upset. And it just started getting warm, and then it's supposed to snow again. I'm not happy about that. Let's put this on this layer. Actually, a new layer. So, And that change in weather always gets me, and I always get a cold when that happens. So I hope that's not what's happening. All right. And then there we go. I may have to bring her eye up, actually. We'll see. So yeah, like I was saying, I'm not a fan of the cold, not too happy with that it's getting colder again. It was much warmer before, and the fact that it's getting colder again makes makes me very sad. So hopefully it's only like a little bit of snow and then it gets warm again. And I can just I will probably end up just redrawing the same line over and over and over again. I'm not careful here. So I'm still gonna copy the way her eye looks in the anime instead of something similar to what I would normally do. I think it helps give the character her feeling and everything. Sorry, I have been coughing a lot, so if I go silent for a second or two, it's because of that. Alright, let me get this eye in there. But most of how she's going to be drawn is going to be drawn in my style. I just like to copy the eyes so it feels more like the character to an extent. I do have like the way that I do things. I'm actually going to bring this here. There. And she's got noticeable eyelashes at the bottom, so I'm going to also add that to her. Alright, let's use a much smaller brush for that though. I'm gonna move up her eye. I don't think it's positioned right. So I'm gonna fix that. These little triangles for her eyelashes down here, so it becomes quite noticeable when you look at it far away. And then go ahead and I'm worried about using a bigger brush here. No, it's fine. And I'm gonna bring up her eye all together. I don't think it's in the right position. I think it should be higher because just where her ear is currently. So we're gonna fix that. And I typically, and I probably will, do larger eyebrows eyebrows. I mean, yes, but not eyebrows in this case, eyelashes. So I'm gonna add those in, and I extend those out quite a bit. And I'm gonna continue to do that, even though in the anime, it looks different. But like I said, this won't be in the original anime style. This is going to continue to be in my style, which is a very anime-esque style. It's just not that style. I kind of feel like my hand is shaky today. I'm not getting some straight lines like I normally would. So it's kind of interesting. I'm coming in here and needing to fix this a little bit more than usual. But anyways, give her nice eyelashes. And like I said, I do larger eyelashes in general on the characters I draw. There we go. Just fixing some of these lines in here. They're kind of not straight or wonky. And like I said, I think my hand's just kind of shaking a little bit today. And I'm not too sure why. Let me get a different eraser and fix it up a little bit here. So we're fixing this up just a little bit so it's not so wonky, not so jagged looking, and it's a bit smoother. I should have done some of this in a different layer so it's a little bit easier for me to fix, but it'll be fine. Come out just fine by the time I'm done. And it'll look good. And that's what we're aiming for here is it for it to look good, particularly from afar. So when you zoom in all the time, you gotta. I am gonna move her eye because I do think it should be up higher. I have my guidelines incorrect. That's okay. I'm gonna fix it. There we go. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of these guidelines because now it will mess me up going into the other eye. And I am gonna finish this eye here real quick. Oops. I think I'm gonna get a different pen real quick to kind of finish this part off here. The lines are a little bit more solid looking and less sketchy. I like the look for when I do like the whole thing or when I do the rest of the line art, but just this part I want a little bit more definition. So fill in some of these black spots, or fill in what normally would be solid black spots with this brush and a much smaller eraser to fix whatever is going on here. Better. Much better. Alright, go back to my preferred pen. And just kind of looking at her face here, it does kind of look like, or her eyes, that the way they do the eyes, and I do want to copy it because I want it to have the same feeling as the character, because the way I draw anime characters does tend to be different. I guess. And I want it to still read as this character. I still want it to read as 02. And when it's all said and done. I'm gonna no, that should be fine. I'm gonna draw or start the process of drawing her other eye. And then give her eyebrows and a facial expression. It just doesn't translate yet on what I'm doing. So let's get in this other eye here. Oh, hello there. Thanks for joining chat. I appreciate it. And I see that you are a first-time chatter, and thank you for joining my stream. Today I am drawing 02 from Darling in the Franxx, and I'm working on her in her pilot outfit. Pilot suit. And I'm excited that you've come and joined me today. I may mention that I may be coming down with a cold. So if I cough quite a bit, it is because of that. So excuse me if I do. I'll try to mute the mic often so it doesn't get heard on stream, but you know, sometimes I won't be able to catch it in time. So here I'm gonna finish drawing her, and she's got the very typical anime nose with the I have today is not Elden Ring Day. That is on Thursday, but I do appreciate you dropping in today for a little bit, even if it's just to say hi. Yes, I will get on. I will be playing. I play video games every Thursday, and I draw every Tuesday. Well, it was nice to see you, and I thank you. If you're gonna join me on Thursday, I will be playing Elden Ring then. Today is just a chill art stream. None of that death over and over again like it is on Elden Ring. Which I can see how, you know, it's a very different vibe. Let me get her other eye in. Alright. And I might fix some of this as I actually go to render her eye. This will be and then I have to go in here a little bit closer and get these eyelashes in. Just to be consistent with my style here. There we go. That is pretty easy, if I do say so myself. I might go with the liner a little bit thicker here, because I think it doesn't quite match the other side yet. The only thing, while I really like this brush, I'm not a huge fan of the way this this brush, when it does flicks, that it leaves marks all over the place. But I like the final outcome, so you know what are you gonna do about it? There. And then in the anime, they draw characters, or this particular anime, they draw characters with much thinner eyebrows. Kind of stay true to that here, even though this is in my own style. There we go. And then give her a smile. There we go. Just slightly. No, I don't like the way that was looking. I do want to give her a smile. I just didn't like the way that it looked. Maybe I don't like the way this is looking at all. I might change this. I think part of the problem is I think her chin's in the wrong spot. And I may have to fix that. So let's see if we can go and, well, maybe. If I get an eraser and then maybe move her mouth over a bit. Or more downward. Maybe that will fix it. Actually, that works there. There. Actually, that works out. I still might adjust her chin because I don't think this is exactly right, but... And I can do that here. But I like that, the way that looks there. I do need to make adjustments here. So... what? That's an eye. That's her face. So let's go ahead and make adjustments to this part. Just that part only. So it looks... So she actually has a chin. Instead... I think that works out a little bit better. No. You know what's distracting me? Is the original sketch that was on the bottom. And all of this couldn't go because I'm probably gonna have to rearrange her face entirely here. Let's erase, not erase. Let's move her ear. Nope. I guess that's one way to do it. That is not the way I had planned on doing it. So let's get the lasso tool and then move it. There. She has a more proportionate face now. And then even though all of this gets erased up here, I am going to fix that so it's not like this line going down here, because that stuff tends to mess me up. If I could get that erased and temporarily draw her bald, not just get an idea where her skull is. And because all of this is gonna go anyways, but it just kind of helps me, even though that may not be accurate either. It just kind of helps me in the end. That line's a little too thick there. And let's change this. There we go. And then, yeah, because this is not accurate. Her forehead would be up higher than that. But it just kind of gives me an idea. Okay, so I have her face in there. I'm going to get her hair and we'll get started there. All Alright, so she's got these uneven bangs right at the front here, but I'm gonna add some more. I'm gonna add just some guides for me to kind of go by. And then she's got, I'm gonna have her hair. Oh. Now that I zoom in, now the eyes don't seem right to me. I zoomed down, like the eyes really just, I was like, oh, that didn't work out. Let's I have to adjust that. I think it's the position again. That's not gonna get her eyebrows. I do have to merge this with this layer below so I can get all of that and move it. Oops. No, I merged the wrong layers. It's this one. That eye layer with the other one. Merge with the layer below. There we go. And now let's move it. I have to adjust all of that over there, don't I? Because it's not going to look right, which means I have to redraw that portion of her face. But that's okay. That's, you know, part of the process, is sometimes figuring out what is and is not going to work. And that means all of this Control D is going to get erased and then just redrawn. So let's do that. And then I think this may work there. I'm gonna have to probably redraw this line. When I was younger, this had always been an issue for me when drawing, was drawing the face correctly in the head that I originally drew. And so it made it I'm actually very happy for digital art, because I used to draw very dark lines. I didn't have a good like handle on drawing lightly so it can be erased, or finding the lines that worked. So I would sit and I would draw some of my characters, and I would draw the lines a little bit too dark, and then I would end up ripping the paper to when I went to go erase something, because I wanted to adjust the face and stuff. But it's because I would draw too dark lines. And now it's funny, because now I draw very lightly with my pen, and it's not something that I used to do. Control D. Back then, but I've gotten used to it, because you don't want to press too lightly or press too dark on the I'll erase that entire line there and just redraw it on the drawing tablet, which is how I've gotten used to drawing much lighter and adjusting my pen weight. It's because of digital art, which is kind of funny, because I'd go through pen nubs quite a lot, and oops, what did I do? There, I deleted the whole layer. That was not. I was quite scared for a second. I was like, do I have to redraw this whole thing? I would have been quite sad. But it usually, most problems can be fixed pretty easily digitally. No. But I've never accidentally completely deleted a layer like I just did, and so that was kind of scary experience for me, I would say the least. I had already gotten pretty far into drawing her face, and to have to redraw her all over again would be sad. All right, that looks better. I'm gonna adjust her nose though. There we go. Better. Now I can finally get to the point where I can draw in her hair. There. Of course, I had to scribble right here, right down at the bottom. That does not look great. So let's fix that up a little bit before we move on to her hair. And then maybe fix this line here. Like I said, today has been, my hand's been kind of wiggly. I don't know what it is. I know part of it is because I don't use one of those gloves that a lot of other artists might use when drawing on a tablet, and it just helps stabilize your hand a little bit, and I don't, so you know, it is what it is. I just don't quite spend my money on that kind of stuff. All right, so now I have her head in there, and then I'm gonna draw her hair like I originally planned. Those guidelines are not going to be helpful at all. And even though her bangs are not even, I am going to kind of get like a guideline here. Oops. I am drawing on the wrong layer. Alright. To where about her bangs would come, because she's got bangs here. And then she has these longer bangs in front. And I'm gonna have her hair kind of blowing in the wind a little bit and drawing that there. And then the rest of her hair will follow here. And it will look, once I have it all in there, you'll see how it will turn out. And she's got this like headband and the horns on top of the headband. All right, so got that, and let's go ahead and get her bangs actually drawn in on a brand new layer. And let's start off with there we go. This is the part that I really like this pen for, is the hair. It really gives weight to all the lines that it really I don't know, gives the hair more volume, in my opinion. There we go. And then give some do the bangs on this side and have the headband. So I guess there's this point here to the headband where the horn will be, and then this part that comes out this way. And then she's got kind of really pointy horns on this headband. So we're going to add those there. And then add the second one, which you would not, in this angle, would not see the bottom of. I do have to draw it though, so it looks correct. And then erase this little line there. There we go. And then get in her long bangs. Do I want to maybe go a little bit thicker with this? I do. I think where I'm laying them down is correct, the lengthwise. I can always adjust it later if it's a little bit too long or too short. Alright, let's get the other one in. So hopefully it's correct. We'll see. And bring this curve up this way. And then I'm going to go ahead and erase that. Let's get rid of the guidelines a little bit here so I can see what I'm doing. See, and that's why I do that. I get rid of them because I didn't quite like the way this bang looked, or the way that it was going. And it was mainly because I was following the guideline that I had originally placed. I mean, that's what they're there for, but you know, you gotta fix it. We have to fix it as we go along, and I'm gonna fix this. That doesn't seem right here. All this is too thick. So let's get a very large eraser and erase all of that. Come back and redraw this part again. I like that a little bit better. And then I'm gonna erase that little bit there. And then this, oops, just a tad bit of that there. Alright. There we have all of that. And then we're gonna get the back of her head in. Because I have it blowing in the wind. I may go ahead and finish some of this on a separate layer so I can draw on top of it. She's got and like they always tell you when drawing, hair is a little bit like ribbons, and so you want to draw them like such. Some of that's gonna be not there, so I'm gonna stop that portion right there. I do like the way that's looking, and then I'll add more to her hair later as I see fit. But I'm gonna fix this line here. And more. There we go. Maybe too many lines over here. Sometimes you want to have a lot of detail, but a lot of detail doesn't necessarily mean that the artwork is good, right? You know, you can say a lot with less. All right. Let's erase this portion of her face where her hair is in front. And then I will draw more than what we see here in a little bit. But let's start getting her body in there, and I'm gonna make her hair layers, the ones that are in front, and a little bit more transparent, so when I work on the body it's easier to see. So this should be sorry about all the coughing. Like I said, I feel like I may be coming down with a cold. So her shoulders would be here, and then I'm gonna have her arching her back a little bit. I'm kind of copying the reference image a little bit. I don't always copy my reference images perfectly. It's just more, once again, a guide for me, especially to get the character looking like the character. So she has what the features of the character. So I don't always it's probably more right like that. But I've never followed a reference drawing completely, or a reference entirely. Even when I'm drawing from a real person, like pose, I don't follow it completely. I'll change the pose around a little bit to what I like, or if I think something will be better to draw in a certain way, or what layer did I put this on? There we go. It's just how I like to draw. All right, so she's got this hood. So let's get an idea where, or let's start putting that in on this this suit here. So we're gonna go, and that's part of the reason why I did her hair in a transparent layer for right now, is because it's hard for me to see all the lines the way that I have them drawn in. Okay, so we're gonna bring the hood around here and this part up, and then this would go over like that. And this hood here actually has two different parts to it, it looks like. So we're gonna make sure we get that second part in here. Yeah, this would go up here, and I'll bring that around like that, and then we'll properly attach her neck to her body. I'm gonna hide that layer for a second so I can concentrate on drawing this portion, which makes her look bald again, but that's okay. Well, like I said, it'll be fine. So this is an interesting looking hood. I've mentioned that even though I'm going to be starting to watch this anime, I hadn't yet. So for me, it's interesting because I'm not. She's got a very interesting, like, large hood here, and I'm sure it makes sense as to why that is in the anime itself. But so I'm just trying to get that in a little bit. And it does seem to be quite stiff. Almost like that part is like a metal. I don't know if it is. And maybe when I watch the anime I will find out. But it's a very stiff, it looks very like a very stiff material the way it's drawn here. Get this portion. I think when I draw her arm in, I can finish that part just a little bit. Alright. There we go. And I'll have to erase all of that. But let's get the rest of her pilot suit. Drawn in. This actually probably would be down. That's not quite right. So it would be attached here and up around this way. You have to, make sure you draw things with some anatomically correctness. No, I know a lot of anime characters aren't always. Let's go ahead and get rid of these. Aren't always their assets are drawn much larger than is feasible in some situations, but that's okay. But just trying to have her drawn correctly here for the most part. This would be maybe a thinner line here just to have that separation. Alright. It's funny because she's got that white part there, but it's not shown on the other side. Interesting design choice there. Let's make this the opacity much lower on there. And then draw on the correct layer, of course. That's what I want to do. Go with a thicker line here. Copy the reference image a little bit here. And then this portion would go here. And I think that works. We're going to draw in her shoulder in this image. All right, is lined up with that portion of her body, her other shoulder. So let's fix this, erase some of this line work here. And get in her arm. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I chose this reference image of her in her suit because it would have been easier for me to color and to draw. But it is a let me draw her arm real quick. So that is part of the reason why I put her in this suit. You will see me jump around quite a bit. I think this stripe here does go all the way at least towards the back in this image, so we're gonna do that. But I do tend to jump around. That is my ADHD kind of kicking in a little bit. This comes down to a V. Let's draw that in. And there we go. And that just comes right underneath here, like I have there. Okay, that works out. And now it is these lines here that come down, and this is kind of why I chose this character or in this outfit, because it was just gonna be easier to draw, especially within my time limit, because I'm gonna draw her and then color her too, and that's gonna take time. There is something seems to go around her hip at this point. A little bit. Let's zoom in here just a smidge so I can fix this. There we go. Let's go in here. And fix that there. I think that's turning out just fine there. And then there is a little bit here that comes through. Because this part here does extend, or does come down this way a little bit more. The same with the opposite side. Good. And it does seem like it is a skin tight suit, so I guess we do see a little bit of where her belly button would be. And then let's draw where her rest of her arm is. She's got this band around her arm. I'm gonna draw that in. This line. I'm like, there's a line here that does not work. It was that line the whole time. And now that I've got her body in there and wearing her suit, it will be easier to get the rest of the hair in. So I'll be doing that portion as well. I can get rid of that layer altogether. All of this is wrong, but I'll fix it. All right. That doesn't look right. That's her forearm here, and the rest of her arm would go like that. You know, sometimes you just have to draw in extra guidelines to help with the process. Let's fix this side here. There we go. That looks better. All right, so now we have her drawn in. Let's go ahead and bring this layer back up and then finish the layers below and erase some of this line work here underneath her hair. All right, so this hood part here is going to come, it's going to come down. It goes quite low, it looks like. And maybe it juts out a little bit more than what I've drawn here. But let's fix that. And then have it come down. Because it looks like a quite large hood on her here. There we go. And then this portion comes out this way. That looks better. There are lines here that I can't quite see well enough. This probably comes down. Just trying to figure out where this hood goes back here. I think that's about right. Draw some of these lines here. I've got an extra line here that doesn't need to be. All right. So if I'm gonna draw the rest of her hair, and her hair does seem to extend quite a bit here. There we go. And draw in all that. And I think that's good there. So we can actually get started in making sure that one, this looks correct. Her ear is attached to her head correctly, or somewhat correctly. Finish. I have a really thick line here for on the hair. Let's thin that out just a smidge. It could still be kind of thick because it is the back of her head, and I want that flow or that line to be kind of thick anyways. What portion of, there it is, just so I can erase the lines. And then I'm going to merge all these lines together so I can make adjustments as needed to get rid of all of these layers. Merge one more. No, that's it. I have layers that that's her face. What is this? That's nothing. Merge below. Okay. Let's work on getting rid of some of this overlap with a smaller eraser. Because now all the lines are merged together, it's going to be affecting everything. So I have this hair here in front of that. This strand of hair here. And fix all these lines. And I've got a lot of extra lines that I really don't want. And I'm gonna fix that here. Another thing I'm doing here now is kind of finishing lines so that way when I go to color this, maybe it's a little bit easier. I do a lot of overlap when I color and then erase. And then I have this really great eraser called Erase Along the Edge that when I do the overlap, it doesn't when I go to erase it, it doesn't erase anything within the lines that I have originally drawn, and when I get to that part you'll see. This should be there. Alright, we've got that. That should be good. Let's go ahead and get started coloring her. And let's get her face. That's where I normally get started. So I'm gonna go ahead and get her face color in, which is a little bit lighter. And let's start off with this, and then if we need to make adjustments, we will. And go with the Millie pen for coloring, just for blocking down large amounts of colors, not on top of the layer, of course, but on a new layer underneath. And then I am gonna make an adjustment to the skin colors, not quite right, but I'm just gonna put it on there for her face. And then bring this over here so you guys can see that I am going to be adjusting the hue just a bit, and then the luminosity, which lightens it. Okay. And I don't need to erase all of this, especially where the hair is going to cover up, because that's going to be on a separate layer. I'm using the wrong eraser. But I do want to erase a good amount of this here. My lines aren't that great today. Oh, I don't have this as the reference, that's why. There we go. And as you see, then I take this and I erase the lines. And I won't get the bangs perfect because I've got lines in there that aren't perfect, but I am going to erase a partial amount. But because the hair is going to be on a separate layer, I don't need to worry too much about all of that overlap there. Oops. I'm gonna go back to the pen real quick. Grab the color that I was working in, or that I changed it to. Go back in here and erase some more of that. Perfect. That looks good. Alright, now I'm gonna start the shading, and I'm gonna go ahead and color over here, over the lines just a bit. And shade her face. And I like to color in blocks and not putting all the color down at once. So I'm going to shade all of her face first, and then do everything else. So on a new layer, let's go a little bit more pink, and I'm going to color in all of this down here. That's too brown. There we go. Let's go a little bit more, because all of their neck here would be in shadow. And since I am using a reference, I'm going to use some of the shadow that they provide. Although, because it's the anime, there's not a lot of shadow. So you'll see me probably put a little bit more than what would be done in the anime. Because they probably keep things simple for animation purposes. I know a lot of people will use the multiply layer. I actually haven't used the multiply layer in a while. I'll just typically choose a color that I like for the shadows. And I don't, it's just how I do it more than anything. And I want to get a smaller brush and actually work with the G pen this time for the shading, not the mapping pen. There we go. And then do a line here, and it's gonna be quite simple. This will actually be for the coloring, but I want the shadows to be there. There we go. And then one for right underneath her, where her bottom lip would be. And let's give her a little bit of blush. And I will take a brighter red. And here I might do maybe not a multiplier layer, but maybe mess with the opacity a little bit if I feel like I need to. And actually I don't think I need to here. I'm gonna add highlights to this as well. And oh, I did forget that I wanted to put a little bit of shadow under her nose. And if I could switch that up just a bit here. Too big of a shadow. I don't know, for me, I think it makes a difference. That's how I normally would shade it. And then I'm gonna add the highlights and go and there would be a little bit. I'm gonna take a different type of pen. I'll use the flat marker, and I'm gonna go with a pure white, but because the way the flat marker works, it won't come out exactly pure white. And then give a little bit of highlight to where I feel like the light would be coming from in this image. And then I'm gonna go in with this, and there will be a little bit of light bouncing off here. Not there. A little bit of light there. So, and then this portion would be dark. And I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna go with a darker, much darker pink than I normally would, because the way this marker is that it kind of blends as it works. So I'm gonna do that and have it blend a little bit, and then I'm gonna take a darker, much darker here on this side. Maybe not that dark on this side here, where there would be a little bit more shadow, and maybe just a tad bit of shadow underneath the neck here. Like I said, I do plan to go kind of simple with the shading here, but still, there we go. Just will give a little bit of shape to the whole thing. All right, now that I've done her face into the shadows, let's do some more. Let's do a little bit more to her face. Let's give her eye color and do her eyes. And so I'm gonna go in and do the white part of the eye, and I'm gonna color all of that in. And then there we go. And then where her teeth would be. And I'm using the flat marker because it does a lot of the blending for you. And you don't have to blend that much with it. I will still blend, but it means you can go, you don't have to worry about it too much, and it blends in with the background, which is why I like it. Oops. Let's get the shadow of the eye. And let's go for, she's got these vibrant, it's almost close to my character's hair color, her eyes are. So that's good to know. I'm gonna first get some of just like a base layer in here. I like to do things in different layers because then you see I can, ooh, that's not on a different layer. That's a problem. Because of the way a little bit messy that I get with this, I do want it, I can make it neat. And I know there's different ways that different artists will color things. Using masking layers. Funny enough, I have never used a masking layer. I know that's a typical thing the digital artists will do. It's nothing I've ever used, and I guess it's just probably because of like my age more than anything. Because I've used Photoshop before I started using Clip Studio, and while I'm sure there was definitely masking layers way back when, I never really learned how to do it. So I guess that was part of all of that. I'm gonna just block this in real quick and then take an eraser to it. First of a very dark eraser or hard eraser, and then go in with a softer one. Yeah, we'll do. a softer one here and just kind of erase that. And then go in with a much darker blue here. And go in with these lines here. And get the eyes a little bit. And then get a highlight on this side here. That's just how I go about it. Not necessarily how it's done for her in the anime. But it's just how I go about it. Alright, I'm gonna draw directly on top of the layer here. Just to get the highlight. And then do another highlight. There we go. I'm gonna do another one over here with the highlights. There. So now I've got all of her hair and all of on her face. Not her hair. I haven't done her hair yet. Clearly. I've done her face. I'm gonna do just one more layer. What layer is this? I don't know. I'm gonna do one more layer with a little bit darker color and a little bit bigger just to, let's get a much pinker color here. Maybe that's too purpley. Let's go a little bit more into that color here. And it's just really here where the hair is just a little bit more. Can I go a little bit more red with that? A little bit. There. Or like that. Let's stick with that. And then now, let's go on with her hair. She's got a very soft pink hair. And then, so let's make a new layer for her hair. And that's gonna go on top of the skin layer. So it's going to cover up all of this mess over here. And switch the brush out for the Millie pen instead. And we're gonna block out the hair. And I go right on top. Normally it's just how I do things. I don't use the masking layers. I never learned how to use it. And so when you what is it, you can't teach an old dog new tricks? I guess in that case that would be me. Maybe one day I will learn how to use a masking layer. I don't. But this works fine just for me. That doesn't maybe take a little bit more time, maybe. But it works. That's also why I'm very glad that I found this particular erasing tool, the erase along the edge. And you can set this up. And now Clip Studio Paint has the asset store, and where I got it from, it was a free asset, but apparently, even according to the person who made the brush itself, you can set it up pretty easily if you didn't want to get the brush. And then you could do your own settings. I wouldn't know where to get this brush in the other art programs. It's just I know how to get it on Clip Studio because that's the program I use. I'm gonna go in here and I may have to come in there with a smaller eraser a little bit on some of this. But this works out for like the big... My lines aren't the cleanest. Sometimes I clean up the lines to do this, but this gets the big bulk of the work done. Nope. Instead of me having to do it, but you know. This is just how I like to render. You probably render or like to render in a different way, and that's okay. Let's go in here and let's get some of these other spots a little bit. Nope. A much smaller brush because I do want to get right up on the line. And then take this brush and erase. I'm gonna switch the eraser though to the hard eraser. It's hard, and then go with a much smaller eraser. Oops, yeah, it's to get these lines here. So I have the hair done. And here it does matter, at least over the skin, what gets erased and what is left. Go in and erase all of this. And even though this would show, I'm gonna leave some of it like that. It's just how I do it. Get all of this here. I'm gonna go back to the erase along the edge. These lines are a little bit better done. Or I thought they were. Maybe not. That's fine. Go in here and get all of that there. There we go. I think that's good. I don't think I have spots. Oh, I do. A little bit right here. Some of these other spots I'm gonna have to fix on the skin layer. With not an eraser, with an actual marker. Oh, and right on the ears. You see, I'm glad I zoomed in. I missed all of this. Where her ears are at. There. Perfect. So let's start shading her in here. I'm gonna select all of her hair. And in this sense, it works just like a clipping mask layer, I think it's what it's called. Because I don't use it. But it works in that. I'm going to need a much bigger Millie pen. Actually, that works out. There we go. And because all of that in her hair would be a much darker color here. And get that to be... I think I'm using the wrong eraser. That's why it's being a little bit... Yes, I am. It's being a little bit weird. There we go. And then some color back here. And I kind of, you know, I was gonna do, let's actually do this whole back area here. Follow the curve of her hair. That looks better, at least in my opinion. Then I'm gonna go a little bit lighter with this here, because, oops, maybe not. I'm gonna take this pink and I'm gonna go darker with it. Do a little bit more depth and color. There. Like I said, I like to kind of do my own thing with the colors. I won't use the multiply layer. I used to a lot when I was younger, or when I started digital art, use the multiply layer. I just now use a color that I like, that I think goes well with what I'm trying to do, because maybe there's a certain look that I want for this. So I will do that instead. Oh, that would be just like that. Perfect. I'm gonna do a new layer, because I even want to go. I want to go darker than this color here, but not by much. And then I want to add shadow. This shadow here, if I can get it to look right. Control Z a bunch of times. Even though I'm very much a digital artist now. I started off like a traditional artist. Oh, hi, and welcome to the stream. So you say you use the lasso for nearly all flats and it becomes so easy. Yeah, I've seen a lot more people use the lasso tool lately. I have no idea where to even begin with the lasso tool. I use the lasso tool for like using well, selecting areas. And so it's funny that you say that. I have seen so many videos of people using the lasso tool recently. And yeah, a lot of people say it's pretty easy. I was mentioning before, sometimes you can't. I'm just so rooted in the way that I do things now. But yeah, a lot of people have stated that. Maybe that's something I'll give a try at some point. You know, you never know. And then I'm gonna do some highlights in her hair. So let's move on from the shadows a little bit here. Actually, let's bring that up just a tad. I'll have to give that lasso tool a try on my own. Maybe not on stream. Might be a little bit of a learning curve for me. All right, I'm gonna give some highlights to her hair. There we go. Erase that there. And there. And get these highlights. And actually, I actually might bring and highlight all of that there. There would be a little bit of a shadow here from that hair too, actually. So, and then I'm gonna go in with a little bit darker. Maybe not as dark. Actually, let's switch up to the flat marker a little bit here. So we get that blend. So we have a little bit more depth to this, to her, I guess. go. And then go back to the G pen entirely to do some of these smaller. And I'm gonna copy the way it's kind of done a little bit in the anime. She's got the smaller shine, just to kind of give it the whole look that it does in the anime a little bit. I'm gonna go in here just a little bit with a this soft airbrush a little bit with a very, very large brush. And it's just I just kind of like the look that it provides to the hair in particular. And then maybe go in here with a little bit darker. There we go. Perfect. So now we've got her hair, her face done, and everything. We did the highlights. We got to work on her suit. So, and did I do all of that? No, I didn't. I didn't do that on all one layer, but I am going to condense these layers because I have to fix, I'm going to condense the hair layers. I have to fix, something or erase something on here. Merge with the layer below. And I don't want to have to try to find which layer it is. So we fix all of it at the same time. All right. There we go. Good. Perfect. There we go. Let's go ahead and get her bangs or her headband in there. I think I may have to make it look like it's pointier, but with the shadows. We'll see. We'll go in there and fix that. Let's do another layer for her headband entirely. And it is a white color. Oh, hey there. Thanks for joining my stream. I've been working on drawing 02 from Darling in the Franxx. It is from an anime I hadn't seen yet, but that one that I plan on watching, so I thought I'd draw fan art before I even become a fan. I heard it was actually quite good, so I am gonna end up watching it. All right, so let's do her horns on her headband. I wonder if I could get away with using the bucket fill. Nope, I cannot. Those lines are not proper. Oh, you thought you've watched a lot of anime, but there's a lot you missed. Yeah, you know, for me too. As I get older, I just see more and more anime that that's out there. There's just so much of it, and it's always coming out with something new. Darling in the Franxx, I think, came out last year, I want to say. I could be wrong, and if someone else knows in the in chat knows, let me know, because when exactly this came out. But I've heard of it. I've seen a lot of people make references to 02 and that kind of thing. And I've had friends recommend this anime to me a few times, and I'm one of those people that if you tell me to do something, I'm not likely to do it right away. Like, hey, watch this anime. Yeah, sure, maybe, but like a lot later, now that you told me to do it, I don't want to be told what to do. But let's see, let's get some shadow in here. I'm gonna go. So yeah, I hadn't watched it, or didn't watch it when it first came out, but I am going to now. Now that nobody else in my friend group is telling me what to what to do. That's the wrong brush. I'm gonna use a flat marker for this and just kind of get these shadows in there. I'm going with a very light cell shaded look to this, so I'm not going super dark or intense with the shadows at all. And then I'm gonna get this really dark maroon, and that's not maroon. This is the same color that the rest of her suit is going to be. So I'm gonna do a new layer, go back to the Millie pen to block it out once again. I'm just coloring on top, no lasso tool, nothing else, just the way I've been doing it for what feels like hundreds and hundreds of years. With the help of the erase along the edge brush. Get these cleaner lines. Ooh, I recognize this song. It's a different rendition from Legend of Zelda. I really like that. Man, I really like this music that I hear, that I have going on in the background. It's really soft and like the piano. I love piano music. Oh, I should draw Zelda, by the way. That would be, I actually might do that next stream. I haven't drawn any game characters. Oh, I have, but I haven't drawn something that I have a huge, that I like a lot. I would love to draw Zelda. I absolutely love Link and The Legend of Zelda, and that'd be a lot of fun. So I'm actually gonna commit right here and right now to doing that next week. I think that would be fun. Especially a character that I know quite well. Let's use a different pen. I might do Breath of the Wild Zelda. I really like her design a lot. You've never played the OG ones? Oh, I love A Link to the Past. So it was the first. I've played all of them, but it is the first Zelda that I played when I was younger. And it was so much fun. So I didn't actually own the game itself. I had a friend. I had a friend that had the game, and sometimes I would go over to her house just to play the game. I was that enamored by the game, but I never actually had the game itself. And I mean, I have it now, but back then I didn't. But I loved that game. I played after that, I played the next game that I played of it was Legend of Zelda. Oh, why does it elude me now? Is Ocarina of Time. And I put so much time into that game. And that was another one that originally a friend of mine had it before I did, and I'd come over just to play it. But then I did eventually begged my mother to buy that game for me. and she did, and I played the crap out of that game. After that, I waited what felt like years for Twilight Princess. I had my name on a Twilight Princess. Like GameStop had was taking pre-orders for Twilight Princess back in the day, before they even, like, when they only had the that one what's it called, that one trailer that they showed, and they didn't really show anything else. And I played I'm trying to get, my brain can't do two things at once. I played or I had put my name on a list, and I waited and waited, and that game got very, very delayed, and it made me sad. But I waited for that game for a long time, and then it finally came out for the Wii, and I bought that version of the game. But it was originally supposed to come out for the GameCube, and only on the GameCube. But I guess when the Wii was going to come out, they decided to release it both. But I have played every single Legend of Zelda game. I love that. So yeah, I think next week I will draw probably Zelda from the series. I will have a lot of fun with that. Although I've been having a lot of fun drawing 02. She's a great character. But not one that I know well yet. I'm gonna probably start watching that. Start watching it today. But we'll see how today goes. I've been kind of busy lately. Let's go in and erase this and make it look a little bit better here. I've got a lot of overlap that I'm gonna fix. I'm gonna erase all of this. There we go. Have I seen the new one? I've seen it. I haven't played it yet. I have a Switch. I probably could play it on stream. That would be a lot of fun. I do have a Switch. And I do actually own it. I just haven't I just hadn't had the time to sit down and play it. But yeah, since Thursday is my game day, well, not this Thursday, but maybe when I'm done with Elden Rings, I'll play it on stream. That would be a lot of fun. Yes, Echoes of Wisdom. I do own it. I just haven't played it yet. So it'll actually be a fun experience to do it on stream, because it will be the first time that I'm playing it entirely. So I'm excited now. I've got all kinds of different plans for my stream. That will be a lot of fun to do. This is the music on here is from Final Fantasy, I think now. You think I'd know that? I played so much Final Fantasy as well. I think this is from 7. The music that's playing now. But I can't be certain at the moment. But the more I hear, I'm pretty certain. That, alongside Final Fantasy IX, are my 2 favorite Final Fantasies. And I bought both of those games when they first came out. That's gonna get covered up eventually, but that's fine. There we go. Perfect. did your average viewer increase since like 2 weeks ago? Yeah, I think it increased mainly with the Elden Ring. Not as much with my my drawing streams. Although I have gotten people in and out a lot lately. Today, so that's nice. I do this for fun, and I'm happy to draw on stream. I think just drawing in general makes me happy. But I would love it if just to be able to draw in a lot to a larger audience. I think that would be a lot of fun. All right, before I do any of the white on this character's outfit, I'm gonna go ahead and shade all of the outfit first. And I'm actually gonna go in with like almost a purple to shade it. Oh yes, and to reach affiliate. That would make me so happy to reach affiliate. I'm getting there. Slowly but surely I am getting there. I have 25 subscribers I think at the moment. I need 50 for that, and then an average of 3 viewers per stream. And I just got another follow. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I hope you're enjoying the stream. I do have it in another layer. Perfect. That just helps my goals a little bit more, and I appreciate that. And actually, I'm just gonna extend. I wonder if her arm is back like that. That actually works better. There we go. And this would have a little bit more shadow going on here. But yes, that is my eventual goal. And that would be nice. But either way, I will be streaming for the foreseeable future just because I have a lot of fun with it. I like showing how bad I am with Elden Rings and other games. I enjoy sharing my art a lot with people and everything, so it's something I enjoy doing regardless of the oops, deleted that whole layer. Regardless of who's watching, I will continue to stream even to just one person, and I'm okay with that. But does it help to have affiliate? It absolutely does. But and we're gonna get a much smaller brush here, and I'm gonna have to erase most of that and go in there. There we go. I think that's good there with the shadows at the very least. Let's get in a little bit of darker shadow right here. Maybe go in with the flat marker since it does the blending for us. I like that. There we go. There we go. Much better. And then I'm gonna go in. I think I need to erase this portion there. And then do the highlights for her suit here as well. And I'm gonna go in just with the marker so it blends it in and it's not such a stark highlight. you'll probably use your Prime sub. I think for me to have access to, for people using Prime subs, if that were to be a thing, I would appreciate it. I do have to definitely be a affiliate for that, which is going to take a little bit of time. That's okay. I expected that when I first started. Go back to the G pen and just maybe do a highlight here. We'll fix it so it's not so such an ugly curve. Here. I just erased that whole thing. Silly. There we go. A little bit of like rim lighting from whatever light source I've decided in my head this would be. You know, I just kind of make things up as I go along sometimes. Doesn't always, it just has to look good. Doesn't always have to be perfect. Alright, I like that. I do have to put in, I wonder if I will even darker with that shadow. Change the hue a little bit. Oh, that's the highlight. There we go. And maybe go just a bit darker with it? No. I do want to change the hue of it a little bit, not... There we go. I like that better. I think it makes it pop a little bit more. Alright, let's get all these cream white color in. I think it's just like a pure white, but I use the cream for the headband. Oh, there would be... Oops. There would be a little bit of dark color right in here. I need to deselect though. There we go. And then make a whole new layer. I'm gonna use the cream here that I used here. It's not an exact white color here. And then I may actually have this time to do a background. Just looking at the time and how much time I actually have, which is great. Oops. Actually, since I'm going to be doing that here, I'm gonna put a background color that is gray, just so I can see what I'm doing with this white color for now. Alright, let's place that on there. And then erase it. And go in there. Perfect. I may want to go ahead and fix that there. And then put the shadows for all of this. And just be kind of messy with it for now. And then fix it here in a bit. Because I don't do my lines very neatly in order to get this to do this right, or to use like the fill. Sometimes I do. Sometimes if this was like a commission piece, I would do the lines much neater. I'd go in and make it look correct. or make it look really crisp, I guess, is what I would say. But this is just for fun. This is just for a stream. It doesn't need to be perfect. And mainly, I want it to look right from afar more than anything. So some of this extra, like, crispness. Like, if it was for a client, if I was going to do this for a client, this would be absolutely perfect in, in every way. Like, I make sure these lines are well defined. And there's a difference for me, I guess, personally, of drawing for yourself and then drawing for a client. And for me, drawing for a client means I put, like, the utmost amount of time and effort into it. But I don't have the same amount of time on stream. I usually stream art and video games for like 3 hours at a time. That's all I can really squeeze in right now. And what is it picking up? Oh, it's on a separate on a separate layer. That's fine. We'll just merge below. So when I choose to draw on stream, I'm choosing to draw something that is going to be easy for me to draw, that is going to isn't going to take a huge amount of time. That's weird. Am I using... Oh, I'm using an eraser, that's why. Get that colored in here. And this over here. Oh, I don't have that selected, do I? So I try to choose stuff that's gonna be quick to draw and quick to color, so I get a finished product right away, and so that the people who watch my stream see the finished product by the time I'm finished. So I do cut a little bit of corners because of that when I'm streaming. But when I'm like, normally a picture could take 10-12 hours to do completed. Let's do a little bit. That's fine. But you know, streaming's actually helped me to become quicker at getting, like, my commissions done a little bit faster too. So, you know, it's helpful. Like, I learned faster techniques because of it. Alright, I like the way that's looking there. And I actually now have plenty of time to do a background. The reference image I have, I don't know if it's from like, the character is from the anime, but I don't know if the background image is. I think it looks like someone cut her out and put her on something like a picture of, like, cherry blossoms. But I kind of like the look of it, so maybe I'll do some rendition of that behind her instead here, because I've got enough time to do so. The stream won't end for like another 40 minutes, so I'm gonna do that. Let's see, and I'm gonna go with a very light blue gradient, not a gray gradient. Foreground to background. Wrong way. With this. Oh, perfect. And then I see all this that I need to fix real quick. So let's do that. Nope. That's not what I wanted to do. Alright. Wrong pen. We'll use the Millie pen. And this is the far back one here. Or the far back, what's it called? Layer. So I'm just kind of messily fixing that little bit. Alright. And then on top of that layer, we'll do maybe I'm gonna go real dark with what the branches are going to be here at first, and then kind of I'm gonna block this out here. I'm gonna put the leaves on top of this. Try to these cherry blossom trees seem to have like a lot of branches in them, so I'm kind of gonna put that in here. It got really cool. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. All right, we are going to now. I'm not great with drawing leaves and stuff, so forgive me for cheating a little bit. I'm using a stamp tool for for all the leaves, because I will be doing that here in a little bit. I'm gonna select the tree or the brown and add just a little bit of shading to it, with a different marker, with the flat marker, that is, and go. You're not gonna see a lot of this. It's just to give her a background. Right. New layer. Let me put, and this is where I'm gonna cheat, guys. It's the only part where I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna go in here. There's a stamp or a background leaf one, and I'm gonna do the cheating, and I'm gonna grab this for like this pink, not that pink, a little bit lighter, and I'm just gonna I'm gonna put a base layer of it first and do like a lighter pink. That I'm not great with backgrounds. I'm gonna say that right now. I am not great with backgrounds, but so I'm gonna cheat a little bit with this. Maybe I'll take some courses in background art a little bit. Oops, I don't want to delete the whole layer. But what I'm gonna do is once I blend it, I'm gonna blur this whole background anyways a little bit. And then go back to this layer here. Not that. I don't want that. I'm gonna add this with the pink a little bit, and then maybe not on top of that blue, like that. And then I'm gonna flatten the entire background. Merge layer below. Merge. Not yet. I want to blend the tree a little bit and blur it. Selection, no, filter, come on, blur, Gaussian blur, and give it a little bit of blurring. It takes a second to get the blurring effect to go in correctly. And hit that real quick. Man, I really didn't expect this to go that quickly. I'm gonna end up ending stream a little bit earlier than normal. I think I really like that way that looks. I'm gonna add just a little bit more to the background with the white. Go into here. There we go. And even though you may not see it, it makes a difference. I swear, adding not that, the sparkles, they make a difference. I don't see it that much, but I think it makes a really pretty background. Well, I did not expect for me to take so little time on this. I normally would stream another 30 more minutes drawing, but I really can't. I finished this drawing. Well, if you like what you saw and you want to see more drawings, I stream every Tuesday art videos. I will draw usually next week. I'm going to be drawing Zelda from Legend of Zelda, and I do more art videos like this. Also on every Thursday I do video games. I am currently playing Elden Rings, getting my butt kicked in Elden Rings, the more I like it. If that's content that you also like, you can subscribe to see that. I also do storytime videos on YouTube. All that's in the links on the About Me page. If you're interested, you can join my Discord for additional information. And when I don't finish a picture on stream, I usually post it there. I hadn't posted last week's yet because it's not done yet and I did not get it finished yet and hadn't had the time. But I really appreciate everybody here. Thank you so much for coming and watching my stream. I appreciate you all, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for coming. Bye-bye.